What's up, NFL fans? It's NFL Nate back again. Today, we're going to be grading all 32 picks of round one. A lot of crazy picks. 3 trades happened, so we're also going to be breaking those down and giving each team that selected a player in the first round a grade for each pick. So if a team picked 2 times, we're going to be grading both picks separately, and we're going to be saying the winners and losers of this draft. A lot of crazy stuff happened in this draft, and it was super fun to watch. So if you enjoy this content, make sure to like the video and subscribe. I'm going to have more draft content coming out as rounds 2 through 7 go through these next few days. But let's jump right into the video. First, Jacksonville Jaguars, they selected Trevor Lawrence. We got this out of the way right at the start of the draft. Everybody knew it was going to happen. Best player in the draft, I give it an A. Pretty easy and obvious. Next, we got the New York Jets. They select Zach Wilson. This one also, I give it an A. It was pretty much going to happen, and I really like Zach Wilson's potential with the New York Jets. And you'll see later, I like what they did in the first round too. So I like this great pick. I'm going to give it an A. Next, the 49ers, they select Trey Lance, quarterback out of North Dakota State. I like this one, but I did expect Mac Jones. I'm not saying this is a bad pick because I think Trey Lance has much more upside. It's just I don't know if he's ready right now to help this team win. Because the 49ers seem like a win-now team, but Trey Lance seems like a little bit of a project quarterback that has tons of upside. But I really like the fit. I think he's definitely a better pick than Mac Jones just because I think he has more upside and the future is going to be looking bright for the 49ers. So I do like this pick. I give it an A- just because a little bit unsure of how he's going to help them win now and the situation with Jimmy Garoppolo. But that's what I give the 49ers right here. At number 4, I've got the Atlanta Falcons. They picked Kyle Pitts, the tight end. Kyle Pitts, probably the best prospect besides Trevor Lawrence in this draft. People were raving about it even as a tight end. Just ridiculous player. He deserves to go this high. I'm giving an A- for the Falcons. I think they should have taken a quarterback like Justin Fields because they never would have been able to get a quarterback in the future. But this is not a bad draft pick. So I give it an A-. I really like it. Just they have a lot of questions on defense. So that's why it makes this pick hard to give an A. Next, number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals, they picked wide receiver Ja'Marr Chase. I also really like this one, but the problem with it for me is that they still don't have the best offensive line. They can address it in round 2, and I think if they were not to go offensive line, Ja'Marr Chase was the best pick for them. Pairing up with Joe Burrow is huge, and it's a perfect wide receiver in their scheme. The only reason it's an A- is because you're not protecting Joe Burrow, which is a little bit scary if I'm a Bengals fan. But it's such a good player that I think it's worth it. So I think the Bengals, they go Ja'Marr Chase. Next at number 6, I have the Miami Dolphins, and I have them they select Jalen Waddle. I gave this one a B. I think they should have taken DeVonta Smith. Jalen Waddle is a great receiver, but I feel like DeVonta Smith could have eventually become that number 1. Jalen Waddle does have that potential, but I don't know. I like DeVonta Smith much better here. I think he would have fit better. Obviously, Jalen Waddle's still a great player. I'm just giving it a B because I think they either should have went offensive line or DeVonta Smith here. Jalen Waddle's still a great player, so I give it a B. Next, at number 7, I have the Detroit Lions. They picked Penei Sewell, and I'm giving them an A-. I really like this one. Penei Sewell, the top offensive lineman in my opinion, and I do think he is perfect for the Detroit Lions. This year they're going to protect Jared Goff, and I think it's a great fit for them. Though I do think they had the chance to take DeVonta Smith as well. DeVonta Smith, I think, was very underrated. Sewell's just very, very good. So I like Penei Sewell for the Detroit Lions. Help protect Jared Goff because Jared Goff is very bad under pressure. So I have to say this is a great pickup for the Detroit Lions. Next at number 8, we had kind of the first surprising pick. The Carolina Panthers, they selected J.C. Horn, the cornerback out of South Carolina. This one kind of surprised me because I thought if they were going to go corner, they'd go Patrick Surtain. But they go J.C. Horn. They're helping the defense. I think they should have taken either Rashawn Slater or DeVonta Smith. Why? Because I think you had to be invested in helping Sam Darnold. Yes, you can make the defense better, but you have to help Sam Darnold. He needs the weapons. You saw it with the New York Jets. He was trash when he didn't have the right weapons and offensive line. Quite frankly, no offensive line or no wide receivers to throw to. But they go cornerback here. I'm not mad with it. I do think J.C. Horn's still a really good player. So I give it a B- just because I think it's a little bit of an overdraft of J.C. Horn. And on top of that, you're not helping Sam Darnold, but still a position of need and a great player. So I'll give it a B-. Not too bad. Next, you got the Denver Broncos. They select Patrick Surtain, cornerback out of Alabama. I think they should have taken Justin Fields. I think it's just that simple. This grade literally would have been an A if Justin Fields wasn't here. I think Patrick Surtain's a great player, and he fits perfect into Vic Fangio's scheme. This grade would have easily been an A if Justin Fields wasn't here. And this grade also would have been an A if they picked Justin Fields. It's just so disappointing they passed up on him. You look at the AFC West, you got Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr, all these fast Surtain who can defend against that. And Teddy Bridgewater's not going to get the job done, and you have the chance to take an elite quarterback in Justin Fields, and you pass up on that opportunity. Patrick Surtain, don't get me wrong, he's a great cornerback, and I think he'll do great things in Denver. Just this grade a B is solely off of the fact that they didn't take Justin Fields, which just I feel like they should have taken Justin Fields, but that's just my opinion, so I'm giving them a B. Next, you got the Philadelphia Eagles. They selected DeVonta Smith because they traded up with the Cowboys, which is kind of wacky, trading up with your worst rival. But they picked Smith. Finally, someone takes DeVonta Smith. I give this an A-. If they would have picked DeVonta Smith at number 12, easy A. They trade up, and they only give up a little bit. I think it was worth it, though. I still give it an A-. The minus just coming from the fact that they had to trade up. But I really like this for the Eagles. Totally worth it. Great player, great prospect, and they'll finally get a surefire wide receiver after so many years of getting questionable wide receivers in the first round. I think DeVonta Smith can reunite with Jalen Hurts and just ball out in Philly, honestly. And I think this is a great start for the Philadelphia Eagles offense. And then at number 11, probably the start of the most surprising pick in the draft. The Chicago Bears select Justin Fields. This one really shook things up, and everybody got people on. I don't care that they had to give up a first rounder. If you think about it, they're trying to compete and they're trying to win a Super Bowl, and they're not going to do that with Andy Dalton. I think this was the great move. They're giving up future picks, but you're getting a quarterback that you probably would never get at number 11. And they're honestly a pretty good team. The Bears have a great defense, and they would never get a quarterback like Justin Fields. I think trading up, giving up picks is exactly. If you're me, I think you just start him immediately. I think it can just give. And not gonna lie, when I do another ranking, predicting every team's record, the Bears are gonna be higher just because of Justin Fields. I really, really like this. If the Broncos would have picked him, I would have had in my next record predictions video, but now I don't because they just picked another corner. But Justin Fields, I think, instantly makes them a playoff contender if he's on the field. So I really like this pick for the Bears. Probably one of my top 3 picks of the draft is the Chicago Bears trading up. I really like this. Cowboys, they select Micah Parsons, linebacker from Penn State. This is a interesting pick from the Cowboys. Everybody had them picking Patrick Surtain with their pick at the beginning. Micah Parsons, a great player. There are linebacker, but the talent was, and they drafted for talent, so I gotta applaud them for that. I'm giving it a B plus just because they probably should have helped their secondary, but they're still helping the defensive side of the ball. He's probably gonna help edge rushing. He seems like he's a nasty player and can really help that defense. But they could have also taken Rashawn Slater, and because Rashawn Slater fell down the draft boards, so they could have taken him to the offensive line, but they don't. I think Mike Parsons is still a great player, so I give them a B plus. The Chargers select Rashawn Slater, probably another top 3. Another amazing pick. He fell. He was not supposed to fall this far. He's probably a top 10 pick. And if he didn't fall that far, people were saying like the New York Giants would pick him up or somebody else. But he falls right into the Chargers' lap, instantly fills a hole, protecting Justin Herbert's blind side. If you're talking about perfect fits and perfect players to go to systems, I think that Rashawn Slater for the Chargers is perfect. And on top of that, it fills a need, and it's just, I don't know, he was not supposed to be here, so you also draft for talent. He's the most talented player here. This is just probably one of the best picks in the draft, in my opinion. The Chargers, they feel a perfect for their future at left tackle. Next, at number 14, you got the New York Jets. They actually trade up to get Elijah Vera-Tucker. This one was interesting. The Minnesota Vikings, they could have picked Elijah Vera-Tucker here, but they trade down. The Jets trade up from 23 to get Elijah Vera-Tucker. I actually really like this pick. I think you got Zach Wilson. You got to protect. Saw Sam train wreck when he had no weapons and no players. And so I think getting Elijah Vera-Tucker is perfect for the New York Jets. Getting that interior protection and just keeping Zach Wilson safe, to be honest, is just should be the number one priority. And I like this. They're resetting their offense. So great pick from the New York Jets. The only reason is they had to give up some stuff. If they didn't trade up and pick Elijah Vera-Tucker, that would have been easy A. They had to give up some stuff, and I don't know if it's completely worth it, but it was a great pick, so I'm going to give him a B+. At number 15, we have the final quarterback going off the board, Mac Jones. People were having Mac Jones going at number 3 in tons of mock drafts, but now he goes at number 15 to the New England Patriots. They don't even have to trade up, which is pretty impressive. I give this a B+. They didn't have to trade up, which makes it better, but I felt like they kind of missed an opportunity because if they would have traded up, they could have had the potential of getting someone like Justin Fields or Trey Lance, but they pass up on that. They just get Mac Jones, but I do think he has potential. He could start right now if you want him to, but I do like Mac Jones in New England. Bill Belichick can make him good. Any picks, they stayed put, so I like this for the New England Patriots. Next, at number 16, the Cardinals select Zaven Collins. This one, a little bit of a questionable pick. There's obviously not that many corners left. They could have taken Caleb Farley, or they could have taken any edge rusher they wanted, which I think they should have done. But, it's tough. I think the Cardinals picking Zaven Collins, it's just kind of a debatable pick. So, I don't know. I give it a C. He wasn't really the best player available, and I don't think it's really what the Cardinals should have done, so I'll give it a C. Next at number 17. Next, we have the Oakland Raiders. They select Alex Leatherwood. I did not like this pick. I thought they could have picked a better offensive lineman or any edge rusher they wanted, to be honest. So, I think they definitely could have picked a better player. I'm going to give it a D+, because they passed up on talent, and they drafted for a position of need, but they didn't really even get the best player. So, I don't know. I don't really like this pick for the Oakland Raiders. Next, we've got the Miami Dolphins. They select Jalen Phillips. I really like this pick. A lot of people had Jalen Phillips going to the Dolphins, and I think it's a perfect fit. They need an edge rusher. Jalen Phillips, probably one of the best edge rushers in this class. The Dolphins get it. They get Jalen Waddle. Now they have Jalen Phillips too. I think this is perfect for them. I think they played this draft really well, the Dolphins did. So I do like this pick. I think Jalen Phillips was also great value here as well. So I think this is a great pick for the Dolphins. At number 19, we've got the Washington football team. They select Jamin Davis. This is a pretty good pick, but I feel like they should have helped the offense. This defense is really good, but they should have probably helped the offense. But this is a very good player. Jamin Davis can play inside linebacker for them, so I do like that. So I'm going to give it a B. Next, the New York Giants, they select Kadarius Toney. This one was interesting. They trade down, which is good, and they still get Kadarius Toney, so that's why a great pick. They get a future first, and they still get a premium talented wide receiver. They probably could have taken an edge rusher, or they could have. I think they should take an edge rusher because there's still tons available. They get Kadarius Toney. I'm gonna give it an A- just because it was value because they traded down. They still get a great player, so good pick for the New York Giants. Next, the Indianapolis Colts, they select Kwity Paye. This is probably another one of the best draft picks of this year's first round. I like this one. It's value. The Colts, they need an edge rusher. Kwity Paye is going to get the job done. So I like this one for the Indianapolis Colts. I give it a solid A. Next, the Titans, they select Caleb Farley. This one was a good draft pick. I think the Titans, they're honestly thinking for the future of that defense. Caleb Farley might not play week 1 or week 2 or the start of the season, but I think he's definitely a talent here. He was projected to go maybe even in the top 10 before he had his back injury and that news got out. But I think this is a great pick here. The Tennessee Titans, they get an A- from me. Next, the Minnesota Vikings, they trade down and they get Christian Darrisaw. This is an easy A for me. At number 14, they could have taken him, but they trade down and they still get their guy, Christian Darrisaw. This is a extremely solid pick for the Vikings, so I'm going to give it an A. Chargers, just to happen that Slater was there, and then he fell all the way to the Vikings after they trade down. They get more draft picks as well. This is a great pick for the Minnesota Vikings. Next, at number 24, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Najee Harris. This is a pick I wasn't a big fan of. I don't really agree with picking a running back in the first round. You can just wait till the second. Probably going to be still some running backs there. They could have taken a great offensive lineman here. I don't get how Najee Harris is going to be able to run through people when he doesn't have an offensive line. I think this is probably a recipe for disaster for Najee Harris. I think he's still going to do well. He's still going to do good in that offense, but just not the pick here. They should just pick an offensive lineman. I'm giving it a C+. Not really my favorite pick. And then again, another running back goes off the board, Travis Etienne. I also give it a C+. Pretty much like the same boat. I like Najee Harris to the Steelers. Travis Etienne is also a great fit for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He pairs up with Trevor Lawrence, who went number 1. I hope that wasn't a big factor because they shouldn't have drafted just because of that. Travis Etienne's a great player, but running backs in the first round have the first pick in the second round. They could have just waited till then, and Travis Etienne probably still would have been there, or still a good running back. So I don't really get their logic. They had tons of picks, but they decided to pick Travis Etienne this high. Not really a great pick in my opinion. I give it a C+. Then the Cleveland Browns, they select Greg Newsome. The Cleveland Browns loaded up on secondary in the offseason, and they load up again in the draft. I think Greg Newsome is a solid pick here. I think he fell to them. Maybe the Browns should have selected Christian Barmore potentially, but Greg Newsome, great player. I give it a B, though, just because Barmore and JOK were here. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. They were both really good fits in Cleveland. But they decided to go Greg Newsome. They helped the secondary. Maybe I graded this a little too low. Maybe give them a B+, but yeah, Cleveland Browns, decent pick from them. The Baltimore Ravens, they picked Rashad Bateman. I really like this one. He fits in Baltimore because you got Speedy Hollywood Brown, and then you got Rashad Bateman, who, if plays well, eventually can turn into that number 1 wide receiver in Baltimore. And on top of that, it's great value. I think Rashad Bateman should have been here, and they help out Lamar Jackson. I really like this pick. I'm giving it an A. It's all around. It's a need. So I'm giving it an A. At number 28, we have a not so great pick. The New Orleans Saints select Peyton Turner. first of all, he wasn't even the best edge rusher there. And you've got to just think about the Saints. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah came to their lap. He fell straight to them. So many teams passed up on him, and he's right there. And the New Orleans Saints just say, nope, they want Peyton Turner instead. Not on the board, in my opinion. I can give it a D. I do not like this pick. Next, at number 29, the Green Bay Packers select Eric Stokes. Now, this one, it wasn't the worst pick, but again, Christian Barmore and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah are here. How do you pass up on them? Now, Eric Stokes, he's a very fast wide receiver, and so I do like this one. I feel like they passed up on better talent, so I give it a B-. But now that I'm thinking about it, he's a really fast, speedy wide receiver that can help that secondary. I'm actually thinking about it. I like this pick a little better. I'm going to bump it up to a B, but still not the best pick. At 30, the Buffalo Bills select Gregory Rousseau. I actually had this mocked a few times. I like Gregory Rousseau to the Bills. So I like this pick for them. I think they help that edge rush that needs to be helped, and they get it at value too. So I can give this an A- for the Buffalo Bills, a solid pick from them. At number 30, you've got the Baltimore Ravens. I get another A. Probably Baltimore Ravens, another winner of this year's draft. They drafted really well. They picked Jayson Oweh, and this was perfect because it was right before the Bucs, so they stole Jayson Oweh from the Bucs. This was a great pick for them. They needed edge, and they got a freak athlete that if he turns into what his potential is, he's an all-pro, top edge rusher in the league if he can learn from some good edge rushers and get coached up, because he has all the athletic traits you need in an edge rusher. So I really like this pick for the Baltimore Ravens. They totally hit a home run with Jayson Oweh. I'm giving it an A. And then finally at number 32, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they select Joe Tryon. They just miss out on Jayson Oweh, but they still get a high upside edge rusher with Joe Tryon. I like this one for the Buccaneers. Really, it's like a now pick and the future. He can help now, but he's also going to be a great player in the future. So I give this one an A-, a great pick from the Bucs. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Tons more post-draft content coming out. Sorry for that. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. See ya.